Okay, ready? Okay, go. Oh, dang. Okay.
Whatever
We're
good
not
this.
really good at this
It's
at all.
weird.
Okay, ready?
Okay.
Okay, go.
Oh, I was waiting for somebody to say go. Okay,
Okay,
ready?
ready?
One,
Go.
two. We can't even get this far.
Are we going on 3 or are we going on go?
Okay, ready? Go.
Okay. Okay, ready?
Ready?
Ready? One,
Go.
2.
Well, here's what we've
We're
learned.
really good at this.
Here's what we've learned. Me and Kara are hardly friends, really.
We don't know each other that well.
Mhm.
Not in sync at all.
For one of our, have you seen the thing on TikTok where they like they'll go 1, 2, go, and they say a word, and they keep trying to get closer and closer together until they say the same word? Like if I said
Chicken.
and if you said chicken,
Kumquats.
I'm gonna send you some of these videos. I would never say kumquats, just so we're clear. That will never. I'm gonna send you some of these videos, and we should probably do those for one of our Patreon things
Sounds amazing.
because they're funny
I love it.
and it's a little ridiculous trying to get to the
Perfect.
same thing.
Yeah, I love it.
Like this is what they do. That's it.
And then, hey guys.
Hello.
This is the Witches, Magic, Murder, and Mystery Podcast.
I'm Megan.
I'm Kara.
We are here today with a full episode for you.
Yep, and not just nonsense.
I mean, a little bit of nonsense.
Always.
We need to do our 10 seconds of silence.
Oh, jeez. Okay, go. I've got a tale for you today, Megan.
Indeed.
Indeed, Megan. Indeed. Okay. Okay, this is kind of a mystery. A little bit of death involved, but not really murders.
Okay.
Okay. So, on August 1st, 1886, Evalyn Walsh was born. She was the daughter of an Irish immigrant carpenter, and he was married to, his name was Thomas Walsh. He was married to Carrie Reed, who was a school teacher. So they were just living their lives, doing their things. The dad was prospecting for gold. When she was about 10, the dad, busted it. You can imagine, busted in the bedroom. What do you want? We found gold. I've got gold. We struck rich. So excited.
Yeah.
All the things. So lives changed.
Did you ever watch that show where they're looking for gold in Alaska?
Yeah.
I freaking loved that show.
And they were just shaking their little pants.
And they would all have their little drama. You know, we
Yes.
don't like that group, and they're not
Yes.
supposed to be here, which just proves
They
that
don't have permits from home.
yeah, groups of men can be just as catty as groups of women.
Oh,
if not more so.
Gosh, yeah. They had tons of money now.
Mm-hmm.
They decided to move to Washington, D.C., and they literally ate off of gold plates in a 60-room mansion. So they went from, being a carpenter and a school teacher and all these little things to, hey, we have money. We're going to act like it.
I mean, part of me is like, gold plates?
Mm-hmm.
Seriously?
Yeah.
But then the other part of me is like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You this makes you happy?
Exactly.
Okay.
If you
Man, I would spend my money on so many different things.
Well, they spent money on more. They sent Evalyn to school in her own stagecoach that had matching horses, and her coachman wore silk attire. And Evalyn would be like, I'm not feeling well if I'm not wearing my jewelry today. Same. So Evelyn's about 10, 11 at this time. She's going to school.
She was 10 or 11.
10 or 11 at this time.
Yeah,
I just, I'm not feeling well if I'm not wearing any jewels.
I bet her teachers hated her.
Oh, I'm sure. They're like, this is not the kid we knew. Well, no, they didn't know her because
they moved.
Yeah, they moved. Okay, so she met a guy named Ned. I think it's McLean. I did not Google it, but it looks like McLean.
Yeah.
Or McLean. I don't know. When she was 11 and he was 8. They met in a dancing class, and people said that they were just infatuated with each other, just obsessed. 8 and 11. At 11, I don't remember being interested in younger guys. I did date some guys that were younger when I was older, but not when I was 11.
In 1897.
Yeah.
Also, he's 8. boys who are 8
Are gross.
also. Well, I was just thinking more like they still think girls are gross when they're 8. Like boys
Yes.
don't really like girls yet.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
So some of the articles said that Evelyn kind of had some issues with transitioning from her previous lifestyle, which you're like, she is in a stagecoach and like complaining about wearing jewels and stuff. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But they said that she was somewhat tomboyish, and during that time, like if you're trying to live a fancy life, the parents are trying to like change her, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So they sailed to Europe often, and they said that she was kind of a troublemaker. So they started to get like pretty strict with her. 1904, she was allowed to move to Paris to study music, and the dad's bankers gave her a $10,000 letter of credit.
Wait, what year was she?
1904, so she was born in 1886.
I was thinking that doesn't seem, well, I guess, yeah,
Yeah,
she's
driving age at this point. She bought a sports car, and she's like, this is what I'm going to do with daddy's money.
why is that so doing that? Say
know.
that last sentence again.
So she bought a sports car because that's what she wanted to do with daddy's money that he gave her, that $10,000 letter of credit.
Oh my God.
So looking at Ned's life, because Ned is in her life for a bit. So he comes from older money. They'd had it for a good bit. He has family members that are like just military people, diplomats, explorers. They co-founded the Great Falls and Old Dominion Railroad in Virginia. And
it's like real old money.
yeah.
And a whole lot of it.
Uh-huh. So the elder of the family owned the Cincinnati Post and part of the Cincinnati Red Stockings.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So then he bought the Washington Post.
The Cincinnati Red Stockings.
Would that be like the Reds baseball team?
I mean, is it now the Reds baseball team? Wait,
Yeah.
I just need to know.
Yeah, let's look.
Because what if it's like something totally different? No.
Oh, it's the baseball team.
My
How
stomach keeps
cute.
growling. Yeah, Cincinnati Red Stockings of 1869 were baseball's first openly all-professional team.
Yep.
With 10 salaried players.
How adorable. So he owned them.
So that's why they're the Reds, I guess.
Yep.
Well, that's
I
just
love
the best information ever.
Uh-huh. Yes.
I mean, that's might be a little bit of a stretch. It's probably not the best information.
But it's
ever,
adorable.
but I like it very
We
much.
love it. Okay, so her parents weren't a huge fan of Ned. And it says that they were pretty unsuccessful at trying to keep them apart.
Was he just too wealthy for them? Like,
they just didn't like his lifestyle. He was like the one kid from the family of money that like likes to blow it on random stuff.
Unlike their daughter.
Right, exactly.
She's clearly much more reasonable.
She was so good at financial. In 1905, Evelyn was in a car accident with her brother Vincent, and her brother was killed. Her leg was injured, and then they said it all weird. Then she had to go through a terrifying procedure, and then she got addicted to morphine. Yeah.
Wow.
And that kind of went along with his lifestyle too. He was just constantly drinking, partying, doing whatever. I don't know. I'm sure parties were the same, just didn't have the same things.
Yeah.
Just as wild.
Drugs were different. Yeah, but they did more like opium and
right. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So they got engaged in 1908. They eloped to Colorado. Their parents were like, whatever, like, we give up. We're clearly not gonna keep you two separated. Instead, we're gonna give you $200,000 to go on a 3-month honeymoon.
The parents confuse me.
Yeah, I know. They went to Europe and the Middle East, and then they spent so much of it that they couldn't pay their hotel bill in Paris.
How?
$200,000 in 1908.
I was about to say the same thing. I was like, in 1908.
$200,000.
What did you do?
For a 3-month honeymoon. What'd you blow it on? I can't eat that much food.
No, I mean,
I can,
probably good.
But that's like in 3 months?
No.
Less than 3 months.
No.
I don't know. So when they got back, they moved into a mansion called Friendship. in Washington, D.C., because, people with money
Yeah.
like to name their
They named
houses.
but they could have named that home anything they wanted to, and they named it
Friendship.
Come over to Friendship. What? Come on.
Come on,
What are you
guys.
doing?
Come on. So they started hanging out with the head of state, traveled around the world. They started partying nonstop. So just typical lifestyle of the rich and famous.
Mm-hmm.
Lifestyle. So they're just...
I was going to do it. I'm glad you did.
Ned was like, you know what I'm going to do since we're in Washington? I'm just going to see if the president wants to hang out with me. Sir Warren G. Harding became buddies.
Warren G. I'm just trying to find Mr. Warren G. I don't think I knew that his name was Warren G. Harding, and now that just makes me happy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so he was like, you know what? We're gonna be buds. We're gonna be best buds, and everything's gonna be fine.
Me too.
And Evalyn was like, you know what? He is pretty wild, and Warren is the president of the United States, so I'm assuming that he'll calm him down a little bit.
Let's settle down.
Yeah, so sure, totally fine. I'm okay with you being Warren's buddy. Like, go be best pals. Go do whatever you do. No. He was kind of a bad influence on the president.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just don't think of the president as being like easily influenced.
Right.
Anyway.
Right. So they went from honeymooning in 1908, then moving, and now it's 1910. They're in Paris, and they see the Hope Diamond. It was the most expensive diamond you could hold in one hand. Its net worth at the time of this article was $200 million. When it was sold to them, they were told about a curse. A gem merchant stole it from the eye or somewhere in a statue of a Hindu goddess.
Sold it to who?
He stole it, and then all these people got it.
Oh, so I thought you meant Ned and Evelyn.
Well, yeah, they do end up buying it. So this is what they're learning as they're purchasing it.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Just money to spend however they want to. So this guy steals it from this Hindu goddess. Then this guy gets shredded to pieces by wild dogs. Then a princess buys it, dies when a French mob beats her to death. Listen, Marie Antoinette and Louis had the diamond. He didn't wear it, but Marie did. We all know what happened to them.
Yes.
They were beheaded during the French Revolution. In 1908, a sultan bought it and then lost his throne. His woman friend wore it, and she died young. So everybody was like,
you don't want this diamond.
this diamond's really cursed. But then other people were like, curses aren't real. But Marie Antoinette did die. So they were like, it's okay.
Well, and all these other things,
Yeah.
Speaking real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick sidebar. This is an interesting sidebar, so nobody get mad.
Yeah,
but the diamond thing made me think of it. There is a diamond mine it's Russian.
Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
You can go there and you can just dig for it. You find little. It's in Siberia. So, but Russia was like, I was going to do an episode on this, and then I realized that it's, for one, not a mystery. It sounded like it was total clickbait, but it was still interesting.
Dang.
But like, it was in Siberia, so, very difficult to live there.
Right.
But also to dig and all those
tigers.
things. Yeah. It's so cold. They said it gets to be like negative 40.
Yeah.
Like all the time in the winter.
Oh, no, thank you.
And so Russia was intent on owning this diamond mine and building a mine there and working it, right? And so building the mine itself was a huge operation because of how cold it is.
Yeah.
And just unforgiving the climate is. And then they finally built it. It cranks out, this one mine cranks out more than half of the world's diamonds. It's insanely productive.
That's wild.
And I can't think of the name of it's a big diamond buyer, seller. And they got suspicious because they were like, why is this so, it's not that big of a mine.
Right.
Why is it cranking out so much? And they were real cagey about letting them come visit. They they wanted to go see the mine themselves. They couldn't really do it. Anyway, the mine shut down very suddenly.
Oh.
Which was also weird and nobody really knows why.
Right.
You still can't go to it. Even to get into the town where it is, you have to have a permit just to enter the town. But the thing that caught my eye was that helicopters can't fly over it because the mine is so deep. The airflow creates a vortex and it will suck in
Oh my gosh.
stuff that flies over top of it. So that's the headline I saw. It's like, you can't fly over this hole or it sucks you in. I was like, what?
I gotta read about
It's
this.
just, I mean, it's science, which is like very cool, but not
Yes.
necessarily a mystery. So
But
anyway,
how they're producing so many is a mystery.
that's weird. And
Yeah.
but it's Russia. I'm not getting involved.
No, we don't want to know.
But anyway, back to the Hope Diamond. But anyway, just think, now I've told you all that story. We can just move right
Just a
along.
little side piece, just an addendum to this episode. Okay, so when they purchased it, one article says they got it for $154,000. Another article says $180,000. I don't know, but they bought it in 1911.
Yeah. So it's worth $2 million now or whatever, but
Yes,
that's different.
200.
200, yeah.
Okay, so Evalyn was like, guys, maybe the curse isn't real, but just in case, I'm gonna go to a church, see if they'll bless it. So
Just in case. We're all going to church. We're all gonna start
we
going
gotta
to
go.
church.
We gotta go to church. We gotta pray. We gotta get a priest to bless all of us and the stone.
Would you risk the curse for the Hope Diamond? How many carats is it? I can't remember. I mean, it's
A lot.
huge.
Yeah,
I just don't care.
it was like Flavor
about
Flav's
diamonds very
timepiece on
much.
her. That's
Flavor Flav's time.
that's what it had to have looked like. On
Yeah.
her.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't think I'd risk anything.
I don't either. And I also just am not.
Because what if even after you sell it, you're cursed?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, thank you. Okay, so while the priest was praying on it, lightning hit a tree across the street and just struck it down.
Oh my God.
And they were like, "Huh, I don't think that's an omen or anything."
Okay, Shirley.
That's okay.
It's definitely just a coincidence.
But she was like, "You know what? Just in case that didn't work, my kids can't touch it. Like, no, my friends and my kids, just nobody needs to touch it. I'll touch it, but nobody else needs to touch it. Just stay away, okay? Just don't come near it."
But we own it, and that's what's important.
But then the dog would be like roaming around their parties and stuff, and then she'd be like, "Come here, puppy, come here, puppy," and put it on the dog. And the dog would walk around wearing it during the parties.
She would put the Hope Diamond on her dog.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Imagine it being like a Saint Bernard or something just wandering around, slobbering all over it.
These are the people who are just like, we're rich and we want everybody to know it. Because it's not, I mean, what a weird thing to do.
Okay, so weird things started to happen. Ned's mom, who was like super against it, died within a year of the purchase. And they were like, nothing's strange here. Don't look at the man behind the curtain. Then Evelyn's dad died that year too. So then she went back to her addiction days because she was just so upset and depressed.
Mm-hmm.
So morphine made its appearance again.
Upset, depressed, and cursed.
And cursed, exactly. And then she would mix morphine and alcohol, and Ned would constantly drink too. So, like I said, Evalyn was super depressed. People said that it got to the point where they would be at a party with her and she would forget their name or forget who they were or forget things that they were talking about.
Oh gosh.
So Ned was like, she's starting to hallucinate a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe because of the morphine, I don't know. But I'm going to build her a safe space at the top of our mansion. So she had her own little sanitarium.
Yeah, he's locking her away.
Yeah. So sometimes Evalyn would just like pawn the diamond. Yeah. But other times, like when she had it, people claim that she kept it in her sofa cushions. She would wear it all the time. It was 94.8 carats.
94.
And then she also
Can
had
you imagine wearing it? You would just be like, all the time.
like hitting stuff.
You're just constantly trying to
have
balance.
like nicks in it because you're hitting the dog's wearing it.
Your core strength would have to be
Oh my
very
god! Like your neck. It's like that woman that wore all those necklaces on her neck.
Mm-hmm. So she
Yeah.
pawned it?
She'd pawn it
And then
randomly
get it
for
back.
things. Yeah, because it would always come back to her. Yeah, so she also had the Star of the East, which is a 31.26 carat diamond. Yep. She wore the Hope Diamond during a surgery. And then she also wore it to races. She wore it while she was swimming. Some said she wore it on an Arctic fishing trip. It was just
It's
wild.
cursed, and she wore it during surgery.
All these
that
things.
just doesn't seem like a well thought out
No.
plan.
Nobody else could touch it, though. Except her and the dog. And the people she pawned it to.
Her and the dog.
Her and the dog.
Oh, God.
Okay, so they had a son named Vincent because that was her brother's name who died in the car accident. So they were like, we're going to name the boy after him. They were like, we do not want anything happening to him, because she was just like so terrified of everything at this point. She was just like, I don't want anything happening to him. I want 24/7 bodyguards with this kid. So he was 9. He runs into the street away from the bodyguards, and he gets hit by a car.
What?
And dies.
What?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What were those bodyguards doing?
Yeah.
Like, you had one job.
Yeah. Evalyn and Ned weren't home. They were in Louisville, Kentucky, watching the horse races.
Oh,
yeah. God. I wonder if my great-grandfather's horses were racing at the time.
Probably.
Probably. Yeah, so there's that. And then their daughter, who was 19, was marrying a 57-year-old Robert Reynolds. He was a not-so-great man. They said he was a Nazi sympathizer.
Oh.
Yeah, and he also had a anti-Semitic newspaper.
Well, he sucks.
Yeah, so they get married. During her wedding, she is wearing the Hope Diamond. I don't know where, like, is it a headpiece on a head? Like, how are you wearing the Hope Diamond?
You'd have to have so many neck and back problems.
I know, like, she has people, like, holding her up as she's walking, like she's in a brace.
No, there's someone who stands next to her holding the diamond.
Yeah,
taking the weight off.
They carry it for her. But unfortunately, 6 years into their marriage, she is extremely miserable. She ends up committing suicide.
Oh.
Yeah. So, everybody's like, oh, maybe it's the curse. Maybe life's
Maybe
not...
get rid of the stupid diamond. Like,
maybe,
who cares?
Maybe life's just really bad. Maybe things are happening.
No.
So, at 22, Ned's father had made him the editor of the Washington Post. So, during all of these years, Ned's just kind of ruining the reputation of the Washington Post and just making all sorts of scandals and all the things, and it wasn't just like a very reputable newspaper anymore.
Because Ned doesn't seem to be good at those things.
No, okay. Not so much. So, it just things started getting weird with Ned also. He had a trained seal. His pets were his livelihood, really. A
pet seal?
Yeah.
That sounds great, though.
And he always fed it a fifth of whiskey, like daily. The seal was like, this is great.
That doesn't sound like it.
Nope.
Seems like it wouldn't be good for the seal.
So that kind of had some issues. And then he had a trained bear that he took to his Florida warehouse. And while the bear was inside just roaming around doing a meet and greet, it killed 2 people. Yeah. Yeah.
So it wasn't a very well trained bear.
No, but it was the gem that did it. The diamond.
The diamonds, right.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a wild animal.
Yeah, but no, it was cursed. The wild animal became rabid because of the curse. Yeah. So then, after those incidents, he was visiting his good old buddy Warren G, and he was like, I gotta take a pee, and I'm just gonna do it in the White House fireplace here. And the first lady walked in, and she was like, I can't do this anymore. You can't be friends with Ned.
Did he actually pee in the fireplace?
Oh, yeah, he did.
This makes so next time anybody ever goes on a tour.
It was the East Room fireplace.
And you go to the East Room, just think,
Ned peed here.
Ned peed here.
Ned McLean.
And Warren G's wife was like, no.
Get out.
Regulators.
Yeah, get out.
Mount up. Okay. What's a clear like night? I'm sorry. That's like one of my most favorite 90s rap songs ever.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Just very happy that you reminded me of it so unexpectedly. I'm going to listen to it on the drive home.
Yes. Okay, so near Friendship Home Mansion, they also had 2 other houses. One they rented to an Attorney General, Harry Daugherty. He held round-the-clock parties, and he called it the Love Nest.
I bet it wasn't.
So Ned had all sorts of sex workers there, and it started getting a little crazy. People started throwing stuff. A bottle hit a lady in the head, and she died not too much later. So an FBI agent actually is the person that took this girl to the hospital. I wonder why he was so close to this party. But
He just happened to be walking
he
back here.
remembers that Warren G was at this party leaning on the fireplace. He's like, Ned was such a bad influence. It was that diamond, I swear.
The president of the United States was at the sex
Just watching-
party
yeah,
at the
watching
Love
everybody.
Nest. Just observing. Okay.
So then there's this thing called the Teapot Dome scandal. Interior Secretary Albert Fall had accepted a bribe to lease oil reserves without asking for bids. So Ned was involved with that. He had agreed to say that he had loaned the Fall the money, but then the senator who led the investigation was like, no, Ned is now broke because of all of these issues that are happening because of his dang diamond. Like, this, no, can't be happening. So then in 1929, Ned was like, I'm a little bored with Evelyn. She's getting a little crazy. I'm just gonna go adventure out here and find another lady friend. So he left her for another woman, and they got a divorce. 4 years later, Evelyn had Ned committed to an insane asylum. And then he danced the hokey pokey with F. Scott Fitzgerald's wife, Zelda.
How did Evelyn have him committed?
When she
I
was
thought
up here.
she was-
Yeah, well, she was in their own home, though. So it wasn't legal. Like, it was just a little sanctuary he built for her. But she had him committed into an actual facility. So F. Scott Fitzgerald's wife, Zelda, was dancing the hokey pokey with him.
I'm kind of amazed that she was able to do that because it was at a time when it was much more common for men to be like, she won't have sex with me. She's crazy. And they're like, she must be crazy.
She must be.
Look at you.
Just
Clearly, there could be no other reasons. Just definitely lost her mind. She had an opinion. Oh, lock her.
there she goes. Gotta go.
But I'm just like, so I wonder how she had him
dinner for you
committed.
tonight. Goodbye.
She's done.
Done. You came home and there was dirt on the floor. Laundry's not done.
Lock her.
Those wifely duties were not checked.
Schizophrenia.
Multiple personality disorder.
No, they didn't even have to do that. They would just be like,
No.
woman. Okay.
Goodbye.
Diagnosis, female.
Asked for tampons? No.
No, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about tampons.
So in the 1930s, during the Depression, she was like, I'm going to keep going with this lifestyle. I'm going to keep throwing my money around.
Do they
I'm
still
just
have the
gonna do-
diamond? She still have
Oh, yeah, she does. Here and there. She pawns it every now and then, but she gets it back.
I don't understand.
Okay. She was like, you know what? I also like to give to charity, so I'm just gonna make some things happen. So, the war was going on. Great Depression, all these things. She's like, you know what, restaurant owner up the street? I'm gonna ask you to make 1,000 sandwiches on your time off. Is that okay? You gonna do this? Great? Okay, sounds good. So then he does that. She buys them cots, books, cigarettes, and she does this all on her own funds. But then they're all driven out of town.
Who's driven out of
Like
town?
the military and everything. So she's
Oh.
like, oh, okay.
But I have 1,000
You're
sandwiches.
welcome. You're welcome. Take them to go, I guess. Take them to go. They're going to go bad. I had them made last night.
DoorDash them to you wherever you go. We'll find some.
I'll take my carriage with my matching horses. Okay. So that was the 1930s, early. March 1st, 1932. Lindbergh. Charles Lindbergh's baby goes missing.
Listen, this woman's life, it just hit me that like all these things happen surrounding this one woman.
This one woman. That's why the other day when you were like Charles Lindbergh, I was like, okay. So she's like, I remember what it feels like to lose my children. I feel for the Lindberghs because they're my pals, and I'm gonna reach out to them.
Okay.
She pawns the diamond to raise $100,000. She gives the $100,000 to what she thinks is an FBI agent. And the FBI agent goes rogue and keeps the money. Turns out that he is a convicted felon and goes to prison for the scan. And somehow the diamond comes back to Evalyn.
Well, it just finds its way.
It really did.
For better or for worse.
Yep. The Washington Post, is sold in 1933 to the Meyer family. Ned ends up dying of a heart attack in the asylum in 1941. He left the small amount of money that he did have to his common law wife, the woman that he was seeing after he divorced Evalyn. She didn't get any of that.
Wait, so she, even after he went
Yeah.
to the insane asylum,
Yeah.
that woman was still there?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So he died in what year? 1941.
1941.
When did she have him committed? Like, how long was he there? I know it was 4 years after they divorced. 1929.
29.
So 1933 until when?
41.
Wow, he was there for 8 years.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Dancing with
Doing the
Zelda
hokey
Fitzgerald.
pokey. Yeah.
Yeah. And then she just really struggled with her daughter committing suicide. She had leased her Washington mansion to the government to use as office spaces because she was like, I have no use for this. I wonder if, like, when they got in there, they were like, what's upstairs? This is weird.
Yeah.
This 60-room mansion, this is strange. 1947, she ends up dying of pneumonia. And because the plaster started falling from the walls of her home. So she started, like, inhaling all that dust and stuff and ended up with pneumonia. She left the Hope Diamond to the grandchildren. In 1947, they sold it to a jeweler, Harry Winston, to pay her estate taxes. 1958, Winston then donated the gem to the Smithsonian. And this article said you could see it there today, but then someone said that it's there, but it's in his, like, specific Harry Winston gallery. So
we can all go look
We
at
can
it.
go
and
look
remember how
at
this
it.
woman put it on her dog.
Put
at
it on
parties.
her dog at parties. And wore it like Flava Flav's timepiece. But don't touch it, because it might be cursed. Or she just had really bad luck, or she just made really poor decisions.
I mean, even before they got the diamond, she seemed a little. It's like, almost like how child stars, they become too rich, too fast, too young, and they never quite
recover
learn how to be a normal human being.
Unless you're the Olsen twins and you're just...
Well, no, they're a perfect example
Exactly.
of not really
That's
knowing.
what I was going to say.
I mean, you're allowed to live your life however you want to,
Yes.
but they're odd.
Yeah.
But so am I, so it's okay.
We all. Everybody is. Do you remember them selling all their clothes in, like, Walmart and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Man, those were the days.
Those were the
days.
Wow. Yeah, gosh, what a wild life that
A little
was.
whirlwind of a life.
So do you think it was cursed?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
I think
Maui
both
in
can
Moana.
be true.
Yeah. Stealing Tafiti or to whatever. Tafiti. The heart of Tafiti.
It's just left me. If you hadn't said anything, I think I would.
I think it's the heart of Tafiti.
Something like that. It's something like that. Okay, let's just look that up. Might as well. What else are we doing?
Yeah, exactly. And then, like, Moana had to fix that curse, and she fixes it, and life
Tafiti, you're right.
Yeah, and life goes back to normal.
Yeah. I mean, I do think. Also, and like I said, I don't really get into diamonds. I don't really get into, like, I don't even like to wear clothes that the brand name shows on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't like, well, I shouldn't say I don't like it. I don't care when other people do it, but it doesn't do anything personally for me to, like, have something fancy and be like, look
at all my things.
I don't care if, like, jewelry's real or not. I just care if I like it. You know, if you give me a necklace and you're like, it's a fake diamond, I'd be like, okay, it's pretty.
I love it.
You know?
Yeah.
So I just don't understand a 93 carat diamond.
No.
Like, put it in a case, or
And
do what
look
Harry
at it.
Winston did, because that's a great thing.
Yeah.
And, like, the people get to see it.
Yes.
Because I would want to see it. Because what
Right.
in the world does a 93
Right.
carat diamond
Yeah.
look like? But I don't need to wear it
No, thank you.
just randomly to
Right.
surgery
Yeah.
or a
And so, like-
fishing expedition.
And also now, like, you can't wear stuff to surgery. So
No.
they'd make us remove our nose rings even. So just, like, wearing it to a procedure.
You need to be the surgeon, just like, can you lift it?
Like, it gets its own tray. Like, ma'am, this is why we have to do this procedure because this body part is now damaged from carrying this all the time.
Yeah. But I mean, she grew up super humble, so maybe
Yeah.
it was some weird sense of security that gave her.
Oh, maybe.
But it just gives you such a warped sense of what matters. I think.
Exactly.
Anyway,
Here we are.
happy May, everybody.
Yeah, don't go by the Hope Diamond as well.
Yeah, don't at all. It's cursed for sure.
Yeah.
If you guys have anything you would like to say to us, you can find all of the ways to contact us in the show notes.
Mm-hmm.
Our Facebook group is the best.
Oh, it's
as
so
I
much fun.
always say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can find the link. You just search for that, but it tells you everything in the show notes. So
Yeah.
we'd love to hear from you.
Yes, we
everything
would.
that you have to say.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk to you later.
Yep.
Love you.
So much.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.